From our good news file today, if you were outside at all overnight or early this morning, you know how cold it was. Now, imagine how it must have been for an 8-year-old Providence girl. She'd had a fight with her sister and ran out of the house and disappeared. This could have all ended tragically, except for the work of the police, and in particular, Sergeant Paul Kennedy. Watch this.
Right back in here, she's crying. It's okay, honey. You're not in trouble. I got her.
Police officials weren't able to tell us her name. We know she'd been outside for nearly an hour with nothing covering her legs, but today she's okay. Police say 2 other missing children in Providence were also found safe. And by the way, that was Newswatch 10 photographer Bob Farrell, 1 step behind the police officer all the way.
And sometimes it's a matter of being in the right place at the right time.
Sometimes it's a matter of being one of the best news photographers in the business, and sometimes it's both. Newswatch 10 photographer Bob Farrell was on patrol last night as State and Providence police were chasing a motorist who took off in South Providence during a routine stop. The car headed the wrong way on Route 95, made a U-turn, then back into the city.
I swear I'm not lying, man. This guy, he just came out, he busted me with the gun in my face. I'm being pleased. I'm not going to throw my name in.
State police are not releasing the name of the 18-year-old man. They say he'll be arraigned this morning on motor vehicle charges and charges of assault with a dangerous weapon, the car, on a police officer.
A 37-year-old Warwick man is facing charges this morning after a 30-mile chase. Warwick police say they started chasing the car on Main Avenue after the driver was spotted operating recklessly and endangering other motorists. The chase continued up Route 95 into Pawtucket, Lincoln, and North Providence. It ended when the car hit a utility pole just outside North Providence Town Hall. Warwick police say the driver, Kenneth Sapola, was treated for minor injuries at Kent County Hospital. He's being charged with motor vehicle violations and refusal to take a breathalyzer test.
A wild chase ends with a Warwick man in jail. It started when East Providence police spotted a stolen truck on Interstate 195. Newswatch 10's Bob Farrell shows us what happened in between. The chase wound through Providence and Pawtucket. At one point, a Providence police car was rammed. The driver then headed the wrong way on Interstate 95 from Smith Street all the way to Route 37 in Cranston. It ended when the truck collided head-on with a car on Interstate 95. 3 people inside were slightly injured. The driver, identified as 36-year-old David D'Angelo of Warwick, allegedly took off on foot but was captured. D'Angelo faces charges of assault with a dangerous weapon, driving under the influence, and possession of a stolen vehicle.
Providence police are cracking down on prostitution in the city, and last night they were doing it by going after the customers.
Newswatch 10 photographer Bob Farrell went along as police used a female officer as a decoy.
Okay, move in, move in.
You're under arrest. We're the police. Police, shut the truck off.
I was not soliciting, sir.
The female you just spoke to is a undercover police officer.
It's all yours.
Okay?
Get the car up. Come on up.
What?
You're under arrest. Come on up.
Arrest? I didn't even stop.
Nice car.
Look, I can report you guys because I'm very friendly with Buddy Cianci.
Get in the car, please. Get in the car. No! We don't want to hurt you. Get in the car, please. Watch your head.
Come on, I gotta see a badge.
Get in the car.
Be still.
You're going to the police station. Would you relax?
So far, about a dozen people are under arrest. Murders are increasingly frequent these days, and they crowd out the other violent stories in the news.
But the fact is, non-lethal violence is a daily occurrence hereabouts. Newswatch 10 photographer Bob Farrell last night happened on an example of what's becoming a typical scene, unfortunately, on the mean streets of Providence, USA.
Which way did they leave?
Guy just came up and started shooting. Like he's like, you remember me? And he's like, I didn't do nothing to you. But he said, oh yeah. The other guy snatches the shotgun out of his hand. The young one, the light-skinned one, and he goes up and he says, oh yeah. And then he went to shoot him, or like hit him with the gun, and then it went off. And that's where the hole came in the wall. And then he went, built it back again, and shot him.
Lie still.
And he tried to shoot him 3 times, but he didn't. He only got him once in the arm. Because somebody robbed the guy. The guy got robbed for $20 by somebody on the street. You know, it was a crackhead.
Hey, listen to me. There's a shotgun, 1 shell casing on the ground.
You know, when he got tired of getting robbed, he gives $20. He came back with a shotgun. That's what that was all about. And it wasn't even him. He came back for the wrong guy. The guy that robbed him ain't even here. I'm scared to walk out the door. I saw the landlord over there bring her kids over here to show an apartment. I said, I wouldn't bring my kids over here. I wouldn't even think about it. People go by shooting. What happens tonight? Somebody gets shot.
Come with her.
Come with you?
What are you? 10.
The victim, 28-year-old Leo Wilson, was taken to Rhode Island Hospital. His injury is not life-threatening. Police have not made an arrest yet. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, 6 o'clock in the morning, a Tuesday morning, the 4th of October. We have a breaking news story this morning to tell you about.
Yeah, I think you'll be glad you tuned in this morning because no one else was on the scene besides us, our news crews, when this story developed in the early morning hours. At least 2 suspected drug dealers have been shot in Providence, one of them fatally. An apparent sting operation resulting in gunfire early this morning.
Our I-Team reporter Jim Terracani is live at the scene. Jim, what happened out there?
Well, Karen, as you just said, Major Paul LaBeouf of the Providence Police Department confirmed that 1 drug suspect is dead. At least 2 others are wounded. The incident took place here at about 2 o'clock this morning. We should tell all the husbands and wives of DEA agents and Providence police officers that no law enforcement officers were harmed or injured or shot, so everybody's safe and those people can breathe a sigh of relief. The police are still trying to piece together just what happened. There's going to be a press conference at 8 o'clock this morning. Our photographer Bob Farrell caught these scenes as detectives were chasing down suspects. Reports from the scene indicated that 2 drug dealers were shot in a sting operation and possibly 3. 1 was killed. Photographer Bob Farrell got these exclusive pictures, and police indicated to him at the time that it was a sting operation. A SWAT team was involved with it with the federal DEA agents. And 1 person was arrested a little later as he tried to flee the scene. You can see here the heavily armed gunmen were on the scene, keeping onlookers away. And here in Cranston, one of the drug suspects were arrested by apparently Cranston police and turned over to Providence police. Now, once again, the incident took place here in Olneyville, in this building behind me. Down at the end of the street, it's probably pretty dark, you can't see it. There was a shootout here involving DEA agents, federal DEA agents, Providence police detectives. 1 drug suspect is killed. All the police officers are safe and sound. More details will be forthcoming at 8 o'clock at a press conference. Frank, Karen?
Jim, do you know how many other suspects were involved at the time?
We don't know at this point, Karen. Police, again, are still trying to gather all the facts on this case, and they'll be letting us know what they know in a couple of hours from now. At least 3 or 4 is best we can tell right now.
Okay, we'll be checking back with you in about a half an hour. Thanks, Jim.